says it's a contradiction because it says ruddy means fair or red, okay, in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. So they're telling you the Hebrews were dark. What was David? What was his tribe? Come on. Judah. He was Judah.
And everybody knows. You think when they wrote that, they don't know that David was a Hebrew? You think when they wrote that, they didn't know that that scripture is
Christ descends from David. What does the scripture say about Christ? He was like burnt brass in a furnace. He was renowned dark.
Right. Solomon, the book of Song of Solomon says he was black and crumbly. Okay? So what?
See, once again, we see these brothers that are brainwashed into these One West Hamitic doctrines that are based on black supremacy, and this is exactly what our people, so-called Latinos and natives, are pushing out. They're pushing out a bunch of lies that the scripture is not saying. Like, again, we already addressed these things. King Solomon is not black. We can read it in the scriptures. He is being described as having skin of the color of marble, right? The color of marble is what? White. So how can Solomon be black, right? A light skin, right? We're gonna read Solomon's Song, chapter 5, verse 15. It says, his legs are as pillars of marble. Now, what is the color of marble? The color of marble is not black. So his legs are being described as being what? The color of marble. And what is the color of marble, ladies and gentlemen? Right, exactly. It says his countenance, right? His countenance, his face is as Lebanon, right? Excellent as the cedars. Now, what is the word Lebanon? Lebanon, Labanawa. It means what? It means white, right? His countenance is as Lebanon, right? So why are these brothers pushing a lie, an agenda pushed down by Rabbi Ford back in the 1960s when this whole One West Hamitic Canaanite camps were established on this side of the world to counterattack the fact that our people was about to wake up in the future, which is what's going on today. A lot of our people are waking up from the lies of the BHI community, aka One West Hamitic camps, right? But most of our people are still being brainwashed by a bunch of, stupid elders. Just like the scripture says, how long will you simple ones would you love simplicity? How long are you gonna continue to follow stupidity, right? And that's exactly what's going on. So we have to expose these things. We have to address these things. We can't stay quiet, just like the scripture says in Isaiah 56 verse 6, that the watchmen are gonna sound the trumpet, and we're not going to hold our peace nor day nor night. So this is why we're here, and we're gonna continue to address all the lies that a lot of these One West Hamitic camps are, and our people that are part of that mess, that nonsense, that stupidity, and their doctrines. It's garbage. You brothers gotta learn how to dig your own wells and start researching and reading for yourself and start being fed a bunch of lies. So, false prophets teaching a lot of nonsense, a lot of man-made doctrines.
You brothers need to really think about what these brothers are saying and what they're teaching. So why would these brothers try to make Israel look Hamitic?
Well, wisdom is created at the gate of your spirit, of your mind, of your soul, of your heart. So
You need to fight for each other. We're talking about truth. This is about truth at the end of the day.
The more and more information that we're bringing out together, we're building on with each other.
out in the streets, bringing the word of hope to our nation. Shalom Yashar, as your brother Shamar with Ancient Watchmen. Welcome back to another edition. As you brothers can tell, there has been an agenda. There's been these crafty ideologies being pushed out by a lot of these BHI movement, aka the One West Hamitic camps, and their false leaders to continue to deceive our people with their false ideologies that are based on black supremacy doctrines that were pushed out back in the 1960s through two African rabbis, converts, that were learning Judaism under the white man. And this is why you have a lot of these brothers from the BHI movement, aka One West Hamitic camps, because that's what they are, pushing such things as, saying that Adam is black when that's not what it's saying. And so you have a lot of so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and even so-called blacks pushing this ideology when that's far from the truth. That's far from the truth. But once again, as the watchmen that we are, we're supposed to be watching for things like this so that we can address it and bring it to the light of the truth, so that it may be exposed and seen by everybody else. Because everybody seems to be just walking around like a bunch of zombies, and this is what the Mosaic says in Proverbs 122. How long will you simple ones will you love simplicity? And what is the word simple? Well, what does it mean? When you go into the etymology, it actually means stupid. So the Mosaic is saying, how long you so-called Latinos and natives are gonna continue to be stupid and follow stupidity, right? And because that's exactly what you guys are following. Stupidity, things that are not found in the scriptures, things that were added onto the scriptures because of ideologies that were pushed out back in the 1960s. And that's exactly what you Latinos and Native Americans are following. Even so-called blacks are being submerged into this pool of lies and deception, right? But in the spirit of the Mosai, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna give you the understanding of whether or not Adam was a black man or was it a red man, right? So without further ado, let's jump into the class. So yeah, man, I don't know if you brothers know, but throughout my travels, I like to travel a lot because of work too. But throughout my travels, I've been able to visit beautiful places. And then in one of my travels, I came across this beautiful lake in close to Canada, because I went to visit my mother. And I went to up north, close to Canada, at the Lake Superior, and I found this really cool spot. So as I was walking in, I looked down and I noticed that there was a bunch of red clay. So I decided to climb down, and basically I wanted to give you guys a visual representation of what the Alahayim were created back in the times of creation, when they created Adam. And when they created Adam out of the red clay. Hence the name Adam or Adama, which is the root word, and we're gonna break that down. Shalom Yisrael. I'm here in Big Lake, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. And I want to show you red clay. It's right here. When we read in Genesis, when it talks about, or that passage that talks about, let us create men in our image, after our likeness, we know it's talking about more than one God there, more than one creator. And so we also got to understand the aspect that within that creation council, you have more than one God, as we already stated, because the word Elohim or Alahayim means powers or gods. So it's the plural word of the word El, which means God. So already we know that it's talking about plurality, more than one God. But not only that, we also got to understand, and we have to humble ourselves down to understand that within that passage it's talking about a male God and a female goddess as well, because what will be the point of a bunch of male gods saying, let us create men in our image after our likeness, and then they create a male and a female? But we know that within that council of creation in Genesis, the whole concept of, or the phrase of, let us create men in our image after our likeness, is talking about male and female gods amongst that council of creation. And this is why you have male and female being created in that day. Why? Because there was a female goddess in that council as well. And brothers don't want to accept that, because they want to make God just a male God, which is absurd, because Christ said, let thy will be done as it is in heaven, let it be done on earth. Well, on earth we have mother and father, How do we have children? By the union of the female and the male, who is the same idea and the same concept in the heavens. You have a male deity, the chiefest, the male god, the protector, the teacher, and so on and so forth. And you got the female goddess as well, the counterpart of the creator. And brothers don't want to accept that because it's a taboo subject. But brothers gotta humble down and understand that the council of creation, you had a female goddess and a male god as well. This is why we have Eve and Adam, or Adamo, or Adapa, which we read in the Sumerian writings. So, having said that, we know that the word Adam has its root word in the word Adama, which means red. So yeah, so I'm gonna give you the simple explanation of the word Adam, and we're gonna dive into the Hebrew for a minute. So it's gonna be just basic Hebrew for brothers to understand what the word Adam means and what it means in the Hebrew, right? So the word Adam, or on our language, it's Dawam, right? So it'll be Dawam. See that? So the Wam, right? And so what does the word Adawam means, right? We're gonna break it down because the word Adawam has a root word, right? Every word has a root, right? Every word that we find in the Hebrew has a root. So this word of Adawam, it's obviously, we know it's Adam, right? Which means red. See? You brothers follow? So now we said that the word Adam, or Adawam, or Adam, has a root word. What is the root word? The root word for Adawam, it's Adama, right? Is this word right here. Ma. See that? And this word means it means red. But why does it mean red? Because Adam was created from the red soil or ground. See? Or ground. It also means to turn red, to turn rosy, right? We're gonna dive into that word because so-called Latinos and natives also use this word in Spanish. What do our parents call us when we're in the sun? Oh, te estás poniendo chapeado de la cara, right? Turning rosy in the face, right? So it doesn't mean brown. It means to turn rosy. What is the closest color to rosy? Pink goes into red, right? So again, and to show blood. That's what it means, to show blood. Again, I've never seen no so-called West Africans or so-called African Americans showing blood through the skin, right? Show me one so-called black African American, so-called Canaanites and Egyptians showing blood through their skin, huh? Again, the word Adawam means red, which goes back to the word Adama, right? Adama, right? And so, to even further prove that Adam was red, like the red clay or red soil that was in the land of Eden, right? In the Garden of Eden. Just like these brothers are lying, saying that Adam was black. It's nowhere in the Hebrew. It's in the Hebrew that he was red because of the red soil or ground, to turn rosy, to show blood through the skin, right? And so this word right here means blood, right? This word, the first word means God, leader. It means strength, and it also has a numerical value of 1,000, right? Which reminds us in the book of Ecclesiastes 7:28 that, you know, I'm gonna read it. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7:28, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. You see that? So King Solomon is basically sharing in a different level. He was referring to Adam, because Adam was the first man that was given the law, right? Adam received the laws. That's why he received the breath of God. So he was the leader of the ancient civilizations. You know, all the pre-Adamite civilizations, he was their leader. He was their God. He was the priest, the first priest under the order of Melchizedek. He was the one teaching, the ancient ones, the law of heaven. So this word right here, da, means door, right? It means door. It also means to move, right? Move. And it means entrance. And this other word right here means chaos, water, and blood. See? Blood, water. There it is. So now the word Adamah, which is the root word for Adawam, which means Adam, which means red, right? Because he was created from the blood. This word Adamah means blood. And why is it blood? Because the door, this is the door right here. In the heart, right? You have a heart. I'm just gonna draw it. This is like the openings for the arteries, that where the blood is being pumped throughout the body. So Adam was the leader, right? Just like I explained earlier. The word da means door, or means to move. Why? Because blood is in a constant move, right? It goes through our heart, and then from there the heart pumps the blood all through our body, right? That's the blood right there. It's flowing right there. And the word da means door. Why? Because there's doors that are constantly opening in and out, or open and close constantly. It's always moving, right? It's in constant move. And the word the word ma means chaos and water. It means blood, which is what blood is. Water is blood. And water is what? It's life. Just like our Native American brother says, mini wikoni. Water is life. So the word means red, means blood. This is the blood stream that's going through your body. And when you brothers cut yourselves, you're springing forth red blood, not black blood, red, right? Just like the one means red, because he was created from the red soil, just like the color of the blood is. That's why it says, the root word for Adam means to turn rosy, to show blood. Again, I've never seen no so-called black person showing blood through their skin. So stop the lies. Stop lying to so-called Native Americans and Hispanics. Stop lying to African Americans that Adam was black when he was not black. I already show you in the Hebrew. The imagery is there for brothers that I can actually see. But the sad thing is that a lot of people are proud. Pride is the fall of this whole thing. This is why their doctrines from One West are falling down. Because pride is when you fall. Once you think you have the truth, just like these cats say they're the home of the truth, that they have the truth, and it's none of their, when in fact they have a bunch of lies that began from the 1960s by their Rabbi Matthew, which learned under the white man. Obviously, they wanted to start their own thing. They did. They got out of from learning under the white and the Jewish, and then they started doing their own thing. And guess what? They spin it around. They give it a different flavor, just like everything that they touch, they corrupt, because they're the Canaanites. Everything they touch, they corrupt. They have grabbed a book and have lied to many thousands of people. So it's high time that a lot of you so-called natives, Hispanics, wake up from the slumber. To show blood, right? To be rosy. This is what the word Adam means, or goes back to in the root word in the Hebrew. So I'm gonna give you an example of that, because this is how Adam and Eve were created, with red clay. See that? This is red clay. You can see my hand. It's red. See? Red. So we have the whole concept of Adam being created out of the red clay, not black clay like a lot of these brothers be lying within these Canaanite camps and movements to make themselves above everybody else, because that's not what it's saying. Adam was created out of red clay, period. And red clay does not mean black, for brothers to understand. Brothers gotta learn how to humble down, because you guys have been lied to for 60 years. And now that we came out, the real Shemitic Hebrew Israelites, we came out to make the record straight and expose the lies. So we're gonna create a little Adam here, just to give you a representation of that concept of Adam being created out of the red clay, not black dirt like a lot of you cats be claiming and be lying to the people about. So brothers that are watching these, I hope you understand that you guys have been lied to for the past 60 years by a lot of these camps, the synagogue of Satan, within a lot of these One West camps. So see that? Red clay. This is the color that Adam was created back in ancient times. Adam means red, and it goes back to the word Adama, which means to be red, to be rosy, to show blood. I've never seen no black person showing blood through the skin. So you need to stop lying to the people. Adam was not a so-called black man, period. So we're gonna try to see if we can finish this up a little bit more. Get a little bit of water. I'm not the best sculptor, man, but there it is. Adam means red. Adama, which means to show blood, to be rosy, to be red, from the red clay, the red soil. So I just wanted to give you a concept, a visual concept of what the gods used to create, the first human beings on this planet, which obviously we know that the first human beings on this planet were genetically engineered. So that's another subject in itself, but yeah, there it is. Adam was created out of the red clay. Red. See that? That's it. Period. Anyways, this is your brother Shamar with Ancient Watchman. I just want to give you a visual representation of the clay the gods used to form Adam, because the word Adam means red, but it goes back to the root word Adama, which means red clay, red soil, and that's how Adam was created, not black like a lot of these brothers be lying, pushing pseudo information out there. So there it is.